After a mother and son move into a mansion, they experience weird activities surrounding ghosts. With the help of a medium, a tour guide, a priest, and a historian, they'll try to come to the bottom of it. But how will they do it? The movie opens at a party in New Orleans, where astrophysicist Ben meets Alyssa, who gives ghost tours in the area. The two share a connection and end up married down the line. The movie cuts to years later, where Ben is drinking alone, having a conversation with the bartender, where it's implied that Alyssa is dead. Ben continues her tours, but he doesn't seem happy about it, as he doesn't believe in ghosts. The scene cuts to Gabby and her son Travis moving into the Gracie Manor, a mansion they intend on making into a bed and breakfast. That evening, as Travis is getting ready for bed, he is spooked by a painting of a bride in his room, a painting that moments later would come to life and face him. He rushes downstairs and tells his mother before the two are immediately spooked by a suit of armor walking toward them. The two run before we hear the Hatbox Ghost saying, "You'll be back." The next morning, Ben is woken up by Father Kent, asking him to go to the Gracie Manor to take pictures of ghosts. Gabby has asked for help from Kent and is offering $2,000 for the pictures. When he hears about the money, Ben quickly agrees, and we get a flashback to when Ben created the camera lens for Alyssa to take pictures of ghosts. Ben arrives at the mansion, and Gabby immediately warns him the ghosts don't like flash. Ben pretends to take pictures across the mansion. In the end, he tells Gabby there are no ghosts and heads home. At his apartment, Ben starts noticing weird things, such as wet footprints and the remote being pushed from his hand. He brushes it off and goes to bed before hearing weird sounds from the bathroom. As he opens it, he finds an entire ocean and a boat in there, spewing water and a harpoon at him. He goes to clear his head, but the ghost is following him everywhere. When he returns, he finds the apartment filled with water that pushes him onto the street. Next, we see him arriving at the mansion as Gabby and Travis wait for him outside. They knew that the ghosts followed them everywhere. Ben walks in and suggests an exorcism, but Kent appears, revealing the same thing happened to him. Ben shows them the picture he took, where he sees the sea captain's ghost. He quickly agrees to smash that like button! Oh no, but he does agree to stay until they figure it out. As midnight strikes, they all gather in the living room, but Ben is determined to figure out why the ghosts want them there. Walking down the hallway, Ben quickly gets spooked. He takes a picture, revealing a ghost behind him chasing after him. As the chase continues, Ben is stopped by the rest of the group. The next morning, they decide to visit Professor Bruce Davis, an expert on paranormal happenings. They also take pictures of the ghosts and find a medium to talk to them, a medium named Harriet. Ben also sets up numerous cameras to track the ghost activity. Bruce has discovered the history of the mansion and its original owner, William Gracie. He revealed that things began getting weird after his wife Eleanor died. Bruce badly wants to go to the mansion, but Ben refuses, causing Bruce not to give them the documents. However, Ben forcefully takes them from his hand. Harriet visits the mansion, and after looking around, she feels a grieving spirit in the room. 2 hours after leaving, she returns, since ghosts keep following her. That evening, they go through the documents and learn that since Gracie's death, around 60-something people have died in a specific way inside the mansion. After looking at the blueprints and a letter to a medium named Leota, they discover a hidden seance room. Inside the room, Harriet tries to communicate with Gracie. As they summon him, he writes, "Talk to Leota." Harriet then tries to summon her, but a spirit comes into the room, dragging Harriet out of the mansion. All of them rush to help her when they see Bruce arriving at the mansion. However, he gets the same treatment and is pushed even further away. That evening, Ben is lured out by an illusion of Alyssa before it reveals a nightmare face. Ben is woken up by Travis. Bruce suggests looking for Leota in the attic. Ben climbs up and finds an old chest before the ghost bride goes after him with an axe. He manages to escape and take the chest with him. As they open it, they find a crystal ball containing the spirit of Leota. She reveals she was contacted by Gracie to talk to his wife. They did a seance each night after midnight for a year, which allowed more ghosts to come through. One of the ghosts portrayed Eleanor and forced Gracie to take his own life. After this, the Hatbox Ghost put Leota in the crystal ball, where she's been trapped ever since. She explained that the ghost needs 1,000 souls so he can be free and gain full power, and he is only 1 soul short. At that moment, Harriet suggests a banishment spell, but Leota tells her she needs an item that belonged to the ghost in the past. The next morning, Harriet has a plan to do a reverse seance where she can go into their world and see who this ghost is to figure out how to get an item that belonged to him. Instead of Harriet, Ben ends up going into the ghost world. He follows Gracie as Gracie begs him to let the Hatbox Ghost get his last soul. Then he appears and taunts Ben and even briefly possesses him before Gabby snaps him out of it. Since Ben has seen the ghost, Bruce tells him to see a sketch artist to put a face on the ghost. They can find its true identity, Alistair Crump, the son of a cruel and wealthy tycoon who shunned him from his home after the death of his mother. After his father's death, Alistair inherited his wealth and killed numerous people in his mansion before his staff turned on him and beheaded him. Crump Manor has been turned into a B&B, so the group heads there to find an item worthy of banishing him. As they come up with a plan, Crump lurks and listens. To prevent them from going, he makes the house swallow them. Ben and Travis manage to escape and find Kent outside. The three of them head to Crump Manor. When they arrive there, they meet Pat and Vic, who are holding tours inside the mansion. As the group is distracted, they find a way to the basement, where Travis finds Crump's skull covered by his top hat. He grabs the hat, and they head back. When they arrive, Ben tells Travis to stay in the car as he and Kent go inside. Inside, they find Bruce handing them drinks, with Gabby and Harriet nowhere to be found. It was clear that Bruce was possessed and tried to poison them. Ben leaves and finds Harriet and Gabby. He frees them, but in the meantime, Bruce tries to take the top hat from Kent. Bruce is being lifted in the air, right as Harriet attempts the banishment spell. However, Crump flies out of Bruce's body and takes the hat with him in the fire. As Travis sits in the car and thinks he is talking to his father, he is lured into the basement by Crump. However, Ben saves Travis before Crump sends the other ghosts to go after the group. Kent manages to turn the ghosts on his side, while Harriet finds a way to release Leota so they can banish Crump together. Crump ends up cornering Ben, Gabby, and Travis in the graveyard outside. With a ghost army surrounding them, he wants Ben to offer himself to be the final soul. At first, Ben appears to be willing to do it, but Harriet and Leota appear at the right moment to banish him, accompanied by Kent and Bruce, who have saved a piece of the top hat. As soon as Harriet has the hat, both she and Leota begin the banishment spell. Crump slowly goes down, and one last kick from Ben finally banishes him. As Crump is finally gone, the group celebrates, but learns that most of the ghosts don't want to cross over, and would rather stay in the mansion. At the end of the movie, Ben and Travis bring the captain's ghost to the sea as he requested. We see Ben arriving at the mansion on Halloween. He is greeted by Gabby and Travis, who have decided to stay, as well as by Harriet, Kent, and Bruce, who are all getting ready for a party as the movie concludes. Subscribe for more videos like this, and turn on the notifications so you never miss any of them.